Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dune. This is a video. I'm going to stick to the theme first. The meat of probably what drew you here is where to find these Agave Seeds and the Insulated Fabric. So I'm going to show you where these primarily drop. They're not spread throughout the entire region. They're really consolidated north of the shoal poison fields in an area or region called Odham. So if you've been up here and you've done the quest line, you've probably already come across these resources. The map doesn't really show the seeds grow on the plants. You have to pick them by hand, and they're really spread throughout the entire region. Those are primarily just all over here. But the cloth is a little more trickier. So the cloth is actually in a, at least where I've found it, is in this little quest area. And I still have to look. It also has the stillsuit tubing, which you'll need, in the sand leathers. These are all going to be your tier 5 and tier 6 materials. But I'm not gonna say it, but here's the dungeon. You can access it from the top. You can also access it from the bottom, but it's primarily, I'll scroll all the way out right here in this region. You'll find, and it drops primarily out of loot boxes. Now those are the two regions. I'm not going to fly in and show you exactly what that looks like. It will, if you follow the quest line, the main quest story, it will actually take you here and unlock this for you with a mission. But that's where they're located, the primary source that I've found. I've also got them out of some random loot boxes in some other buildings that look like this, Mandrake's shithole, I'll just say it. But these are tier 5 enemies. Tier 4 and tier 5, they're difficult, but you can solo them. You just have to kind of kite them around, unless you want to take 5 on 4 or 5 on 1, because they do attack in numbers, and every single one of them seem to have poison, so you're getting stunned and poisoned. It's not too pleasant of an experience. But I did get through it. It's a slow grind, but eventually you get it. Which brings me to my second piece. And so I'm under a bit of a reconstruction. I finally, I was the last one in the guild, but I finally got to level 5 in the House of Harkonnen, and that opened up all the skins. Now eventually I think they're coming out with a gun that will allow you to convert all of your basic granite construction into these skins, and there's a huge loadout. Oh yeah, I'm addicted to spice. There's a huge amount of skins. If you hit R, you can see them all, and they really look much cooler than the granite, and they apply to both your vehicles, some of your weapons, but they each come in individual packages, and they do cost a fair amount of coin. You're going to need about 300,000 to get them all, but it requires plastone, and plastone is easy to get, expensive to refine, and I'll show you why. In the machine itself, plastone is 200 basalt, and basalt, if you know, is up by the aluminum, and if I show in the map, I'm sure most of you know, is primarily up here in the north, all over this region. It's just everywhere. You'll find the rocks, and you'll also find the aluminum, but they're black rocks. My two guildmates have moved up here primarily for the aluminum, but my thought is I don't want to live next to them. They're annoying. I'm just kidding. I actually want to farm this area, and these have some nice, real high plateaus that set up. I don't know what you'd call them. But there's some of these regions up here at the top that will allow me to do like a flat build, small build on top and a vertical down and build out with the help of some of these extenders, which also cost coin. Doesn't everything cost coin? Let me run down here. I get lost in my own base. Still do. Let's see, what was I doing? Yeah, the silicone blocks. And I'll tell you, it sucks getting old. I had to actually go back and watch the recording to see what the hell I was going for. In the survival kit, this is, and I'm getting ready to build the medium, also the advanced chemical refining. But these stocking units, these actually allow you for 15,000, you can place one of each, and they both expand the size of your base and also vertically, which will allow you to build up or down depending on where you place it. So those are going to help me build that base out. So having said that, and I don't know if I covered this, I'd have to go back and watch the recording again. But the skins are actually quite cool, and there's quite a few of them. That's probably one of my favorite. I love that door. But those are just some of the pieces that you get. There's literally a whole crap ton of skins. Let's do all. But quite a few different build, blocks and pieces that all require this plastone. And it looks expensive when you first go up to refine them, because it says 200 basalt stone and 1 silicone block, and you're thinking, my god, is that just for one? It's actually 250. So each one of these outputs 250. If I would have just read that, it's right down here. So it's not too god awful expensive. They are heavy, though. And I'll show you some of the gates. I really like the pieces. I think they, I'm not really too worried about the structural points, because we're in a non-PvP, at least this portion of the server. But just all the options you have here, and let's just knock out a few doors. Go to demolish. I probably don't have room in my inventory, so it's all just gonna drop to the ground. But let's go back to build, and let's take a look at some of these doors. R. I always forget the R. All. And let's go to the large gate. We'll just do the small gate and just double click there, and it'll snap right in here. Hopefully this will line up. They do have different sizes of gates. They've got a large gate, small gate. Sometimes these gates tend to bug out. I'm not sure why. Let me destroy that. I just want to see if I'm going to have the same issues as my wife did with hers. But there's I don't seem to be having any trouble. I think it's a her problem. But it does give you a fairly large gate, which will eliminate the need for this force field, because it's just for my buggy. That's one of the skins that it gives you for your vehicles. The other one I have, did I clear all the holes? Yeah. Make sure I'm sealed. But this base is just ugly. I mean, I didn't put a lot of thought. There's the Assault, the MK5 Assault, which is nice. I love the storage capacity, but I also like the fact that I can load rockets on here. So typically what I'll do is if we go out into the deep sand, I'll take the rocket launcher to provide cover on the way out. But when I get out there, I want to farm too. So coming back, I'm going to be defenseless because I'm going to swap out with the rocket or with the storage. So I can come back with a plethora of sand and titanium and all the other fantastic resources that are out there. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, that you buy the skins in the Harkham village. There's a vendor right by the pilot when you land that actually sells all the different particulars for your house. But I think what I am going to do, I'm going to show you this, and don't judge. Like I said, this isn't the most... This isn't the prettiest build I've ever done. It's kind of boxy, but it gives me top down for my scout, which you can pick up, and then the assault obviously is like the buggy, it's stationary. But you can see I'm starting to advance out this base with both power and water collection. But we're gonna take a trip over here, and let's just set a waypoint where we're going, and I can give you an idea what this area looks like. I don't want to go to their bases. I want to go here, and we'll just follow our waypoint. And I'm not going to put chapter breaks in here, but I will put them in on the next video, because I'm going to build out this whole base and step by step in the new skins, and then do a final looks. We're going to take advantage of glide. And I don't know if it was the last patch, if some of you have had this. I'm in glide mode now. You see the temps going down, but I still hear engine noise. And I seem to be having issues with both the assault and the scout, and getting into vulture mode, into a glide. So I can't even tell if I'm actually, other than looking at my stats, it's just kind of annoying. The assault is heavy. It's not as graceful as a glide, the scout, as far as gliding. It doesn't top out with unless you get any blueprints for some special wings. And then we're also going to be leaving this vehicle exposed while I show you this, which I didn't really think that through. But it is a cool looking vehicle. I do like the skins for this. Nice and black, camouflaged. Watch a storm come in. I haven't seen one, and I'm gonna have to find a place to duck in under, because I can't just pick this stupid thing up. So just past the mesa, you'll start to get into this area. I know I'm gonna get hit with a storm. I can feel it. Sure, you all remember that area quite well. Yeah, see, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but man, is it annoying. I just look to make sure my temps are dropping. And these are what I was talking about. Some of these tops are really cool. It's a nice enough area to give me a base to plant down and then either build up or build down. Probably primarily down. But down there you can see these cactus looking things that the seeds are hidden in those little areas. And then the front of this, you can see right there. There's one of the entrances. But this is where you're going to find the cloth. And there's the main entrance. And you can also get in from the top, which is usually what I do. There's a little crack right there. So we're just going to land here and pray we don't get a sandstorm. I hope I came here with... Yeah, I did. So I typically just... You can see the enemies down there. Actually just snipe them out. As many as I can. Come on, dude. I'm doing a video. Come out. I don't want to just jump down there. They will gang up on you. There we go. Put some shields on. And they literally just come out of everywhere. Oh, you know you're not gonna heal. You're going down. Well, you missed your chance. And like I said, I'm always poisoned down here. It's an annoying dot. You can come in here with spice, but there's your cloth. There's 13 right there. We'll take some of that for my spice addiction. Don't often find that cloth on them, but I find other material that I do need as well. That's interesting. A radiation suit. We'll decon that. But this whole area up through here, I'm not going to venture through the whole thing. But you can see that everything is down here you're going to need. And then just like that, the seeds, they're going to be around the ground. Growing in and around the cactus. And I don't even need to do a video for that. They're not hard. All right. So there you go. I covered the meat of what I wanted to show. Hopefully that was helpful for you. I'm going to fly back to my house. Which I don't know why the icon's not showing up. Where do I live? Right here. And hopefully you can find use out of that. Start building on your way to tier 5 and tier 6. Oh, now it goes right into glide. Go figure. But yeah, so the next time I come back and do a video on this, I'm going to actually show the build. It's going to be on one of those plateaus. I haven't found a really accessible way up into the aluminum area, which is up there. By buggy to go farm that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of scouting. But I don't want... You know, I don't want two vehicles. I can get to the aluminum through... through the ravine, the rift. It's easy to navigate from all the way from the south all the way to the north, and it only takes me about 5 minutes to get there by buggy. With a tier 5 buggy, you can come back with quite a haul to get me all the basalt I need to complete that base in all the new skins. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. You don't have to subscribe, just hit the like button so others in the almighty algorithm can help others find the same video on where to get those resources. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you after hopefully I have that base done. Take care.